Oh,
I just wanted to tell you, no rush, but I'm just going to...
He's just going to say
I think you're
quiet.
still cutting out. Yeah, you're still cutting out.
Why?
I'm sorry. I don't know, but you're cutting it. Oh, there he is. There you are.
I'm just going to say lip syncing.
Push-to-talk, not your friend.
Bub, I'm gonna just send. I'm gonna send you something about level 2 on Discord and just run something.
Oh, I don't have a chair. No chair here.
Chairs are despawning.
What happened to the chair?
It's gone. I kicked it out of here. I caught it on fire. Yeah. Prophet said they can't hear you.
Hey, that should be better. All right, guys, we're back. Sorry, I muted myself here, but we're good now. As soon as I get this message from Nick, we should be good to roll. And Misty will be back with us in just a moment. So.
Oh wait, I should be looking at this when I do that. Jeez. Okay, sorry.
Are there fire moves yet?
I'm okay with that. If you're going to be around, talk with me afterwards, okay? Yeah, it shouldn't be a problem. Abasi is always gone. Okay.
Yeah, I think Abasi's here, but
I really feel for the indigenous peoples that like carry the water jars on their heads. This is heavy and there's nothing to it. Water jar, that's all. Fuck that.
Perfect. All right. Well, this will be good then. Okay. Oh, he's definitely there. That's just stuff on his head. Yeah. Yeah.
What up?
It is, in fact. Yeah, he's been here the entire time. It's true. Okay. So, Donkor, you've pretty much been given lead. You know where this area is. And we're going to have to autopilot Neferani for a little bit.
Alrighty.
Pilakka is still in the back of Abasi. Jammara is bringing it up the back here.
Oh, yeah!
Got that shit. I was like, oh.
Got bass clap, bud.
I'm getting a marching order in my head, and eventually you guys will have that down too.
This whole broadcast is going to be flipped.
Oh, there it is. There's the liquor rolls.
Oh, man.
All right.
Bub's trying to take away the rules.
Some big donk energies in the chat.
Lord, no. Okay.
Yeah. So
Right.
I'm at the back.
All right. So
Right.
yeah. So
I'm on Abasi's back.
So we're making our way to this tent that is on Black Viper now, which is near where I'm assuming where we caught things on fire.
Close. This is actually more in the southern portion of the map of Wati.
Okay.
Oh, fuck.
He apparently just dropped a bird. So
My cat wanted out. You have no idea how hard it is to maneuver with this thing on your head.
My face is hurting and it's all your fault. Stop making me laugh.
So things are a bit different in this area. Brown Viper itself is not what you would say a bad neighborhood. No, it's
Wait a minute.
the worst neighborhood. Okay?
Okay.
The people here have thinned out to such a degree that it's only the bravest, the boldest, or those that stride with much more testicular fortitude than another person here. You're looking at people that abide by this kind of work, or they can back up anything they say or do, violently so. It's not a safe area. What am I looking at? Oh, God!
Why do it black way?
Okay. Oh my god. I can't read.
Why you have black wings?
Why do you have this?
Listen, my girlfriend's a cosplayer. You collect a lot of shit.
Fair. Oh, that's right. It's fair.
All right.
I'm not going to question it. All right.
Ah, shit.
Nope. Sound reasoning to me. All right, let's move on.
This area, this district, Brown Viper itself, is marked by what looks to be some kind of sign. In the middle of the four-way, where people kind of cross over, there is a bit of a decoration. It looks to be some kind of wooden viper that is twisted up. It's much larger than it probably should speak to, but it is a darkened brown wood that is carved to mark this crossroad.
Sweet.
It's a viper. Now, across from you is the largest building in southern Asp. And atop of that building is a tent. It is a two-story building with a tent on top of it. So it's safe to assume
That's the pook.
Very likely, yes.
Do I know how many of my cantrips I can cast, or am I just kind of like
You're guessing? Mechanically, outside of game, I was giving you 4 of each until you get them back in your technical possession.
Okay. And can Pilakka see this this tent area?
Yes. Donkor and Neferani alike have led you to this building. Neferani will probably keenly point out the Viper, the brown Viper in the middle of the crossroad.
Okay, then through a seam in the side of the sack, Pilakka will whisper to Abasi, "This is the building that I saw in my vision. This is where they keep Gidok."
Pilakka, you will note that your tether seems to be significantly stronger here. You're close. Not close in the sense that you could just reach out and grab him, but that you feel like he is much closer.
We are getting... He is close. We are getting warmer.
Well, that's all really interesting, but you're not getting lighter.
And nor shall I until you return me to my raccoon.
If I drop you on your raccoon, no one will return you to it ever.
You could, but then good luck in the tomb.
Oh, no, dear, don't. We'll be rolling you into the tomb. Everyone looked at me and said, "Look at the Pummit. He'll take the hits." Well, listen here, fatty.
You know, you guys are really drawing attention to us in this very desolate place, and I'm impressed.
Says the giant alligator.
I could definitely turn right now, and that would be fun for anyone. But
It might be fun for me. Then stop looking.
well, wouldn't be fun for anyone else, really.
Contain your crocularity.
Oh, trust me, I'll plan on containing my crocularity, whatever it is you just said. So that's even a word, I don't know.
Neferani, if I could please, give me a perception. You're not caught up in the squabble that is happening between them. But you're able to point out the building right away. You get a sensation, a feel that this is probably the area that you need to be. It is the largest of the buildings on this point of the crossroads. And you can see that there is a canvas flap that's kind of blowing above the building itself, marking what could potentially be a special room or the equivalent of. All you can really see when you peer at the building is there's not very many windows. None, actually. It's just sandstone, sand, and probably some planks of wood as you enter. What stands out about it is that there's a quote-unquote guard. This guard is a leathery-faced older man.
Stay a while and listen.
He waits at the door, sitting in a squat. He hides in the shadow of the building. The door itself looks like a darkened silhouette. The only thing that moves about this building is the tent above. Seems to sway with the wind.
Before we walk in, I'm gonna quickly be like, "Can I burn sand, you guys?"
Streets, Glut. As you should well know.
And can you really try to not burn things right now?
What? It's my only skill. I'm just joking. Oh my god.
All right,
Okay.
well, are we ready
Just
to start
carry it.
walking in?
There's no windows.
Actually, that might work to our advantage. Well, anyway, are we ready to start walking in?
Yeah, I think so. I think we're as ready as we'll ever be.
All right. Neferani, do you want to lead the way, or do you want me to?
You.
That's probably the fastest I've ever seen you respond to me. All right.
I'm just trying to improve my response time. So
Less latency.
yes, my ping is much better.
She's the cabled version. She's not wireless.
She upgraded to fiber.
Right.
All right then.
Abasi shaking. Someone go.
All right, so we'll start making our way to the door where this I'm assuming where the guard would be.
Yeah, definitely. You when you near the door itself, do you pause? Do you say anything? Do you hail the guard?
I will I'll go to the guard and say I'll actually Donkor will take the Giddock's finger, I'm assuming would be in his possession, knowing that this would probably be the easiest way to get themselves inside and say,
All right. Hello. Got a message saying that the Pook is waiting for us.
as he holds the finger in his hand.
The Pilakka bag just like burps the finger into his open because it was.
The figure never moves from a squat, and when it kind of drops over Abasi, it just hits the sand at his feet. You notice that his hand...
What the fuck is that?
...kind of moves.
What is that?
And when his hand shifts, he's clutching what looks to be a chicken's foot. And he kind of pokes at it with his hardened chicken's foot.
What the hell is that?
He takes the tip of the chicken's foot and he kind of lips it over to Abasi's legs.
Oh, us. All right, easy there.
Let's try not to make more of a scene than we need to.
Oh,
Is
yeah,
this all right?
scene. What was that warmth anyway?
The guard never looks up. He never says anything. The lines in his face speak to his age. You're not sure what he's actually guarding. Is he actually a guard? Is he the welcome mat?
There's a homeless man poking my foot with a chicken foot.
Does dried chicken foot thing seem magical in there?
No, it doesn't. It just seems to be some kind of bauble or a trinket. It might be important to him. Nothing that you can immediately see, short of casting a spell.
I do have read magic, which or detect magic.
Okay.
Which I could try to cast without alerting him to any movements from the back.
So are you in disguise right now, or are you actually wearing a bag?
I am in disguise as a bag. I've transformed my appearance to look like a bag of lumpy, vague something.
Okay. So you would need to... If you cast the spell, I know that there are some slight verbal and somatic components.
I can do it. I have that spell too.
But
Okay.
that also depends if Jammara would want to look at that. You might just think it's disgusting.
Yeah, it's true. I was already thinking it was gross.
Sure.
Well, before anybody gets a chance to decide anything, Donkor is going to begin to take the step forward, understanding that this person is probably a lot older and doesn't see them as a threat at this moment.
Sure. Donkor, give me a perception, please. When your foot breaks the barrier of entry to the building itself, the lingering sound behind you seems to fall to this very raspy, winded kind of laugh. That's the only thing that you manage to get out of the doorman. That's it. And when you step inside, it's dark for a short time. Do you continue in?
Donkor can see in the dark. So at this point, yeah.
Okay. Looking into the dark itself, you see that there are the equivalent of tapestries that have been hung. Dark tapestries to obscure the vision. You can hear movement on the opposite side of them, but you're not really sure what's going on. As you move in, a new man appears. He is only wearing the equivalent of harem pants, a headdress that only covers the top of his head, and he has a very large, almost oversized khopesh in his hand. His body seems, at least his upper body seems unnaturally oiled as well.
Okay.
He waits for you to say anything, move, take an action.
Okay, so the first thing that Donkor is going to do is he's going to wave his party inside, and then look directly at the guard and say, "Received a message from the Pook. I was wondering if you knew anything about that, or if we can go see him directly."
He sizes you up and down briefly for a moment before eventually he seems to pull his left hand to the side, revealing a set of sandstone steps that take you to the second floor. There is a brief crack in the break of the curtain, which kind of shows you behind. With your perception, you can see that there are people that are working with various reagents, unguents, chemicals. It's either drug-related or poison-related, you have no doubt.
Okay, would Donkor know what any of these poisons or drugs are?
Not off the top of your head, but you can quickly see that they are working with some pretty bizarre shit. You know, there are various colored feathers. There are, a few animals that have been strung up. Blood is kind of dropping from them, and they're capturing them in basins or wells. You can see that they're also working with various types of powders. You can see bizarre roots and plants that are pushed and girded over tables.
Okay.
But as quick as you see that, he tightens his fingers up and he pulls it so that you can no longer see. Okay. And you see the khopesh aim up the steps. It's like guarding or guiding you upwards.
Pilakka's eye is through an opening in the canvas sack, very interested in inspecting all the alchemical reagents. Whatever.
At this point, Donkor will be the one to start making his way up the stairs.
I'll follow Donkor. After looking around and kind of disgust, this place is gross. And there's no sunlight.
Definitely.
Yeah.
As you are guided in, well, you said that you were wearing the headdress that Abasi bought for you and the robes as well, yes?
Yes. Are you talking to me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The figure seemingly double takes over you based on just the nature of your eyes, how they're amber versus the others. Neferani's eyes are more akin to her race, but yours, glowing amber eyes, seem to stick out, right?
Yeah.
So he kind of double takes at you briefly and shrugs, kind of guiding you up the steps with the khopesh. As the last bit of you seem to move up the steps, he seemingly lets it fall back, this curtain that seems to obscure the vision. And moving upward onto the second floor, you see that there is a second set of steps and the rear side of the building, but you're met with some new aromas, some that are a bit more exotic in nature, more so designed to entice and incite. There are various hookahs that remind you a lot of the Tooth and Hookah itself, but at the tables, people aren't dining on foods. They seem to be focusing more on gambling, very specific gambling, or selling rare artifacts, things that are definitely outside of your wheelhouse.
Donkor will take note of this because this would be something that he potentially might be interested in at some point.
Okay.
But then still trying to probably slowly making his way towards the other staircase as not to make a scene.
Sure, not a problem. Okay. You're quickly guided once you say that you're there to see the Pook. The lot of you are guided to the rear side. Basically, you kind of serpentine move through the various tables. Let's see. Give me passive perceptions, please, from everyone. I would, even if you're in the bag, I would like to see your perceptions.
Even if you're in
the bag. Oh, okay.
Have in the bag.
17, 22.
Do I feel my connection to Gedok getting stronger as we get closer to this off?
How? How?
Abasi, as you're moving with the sack above you at this point, you will notice that there is a very particular type of leafing that is done on the men, the guards of your quote unquote father, and you happen to notice those boots sitting at a table. They don't see you because of this gigantic sack on your back. They don't think much of it. They kind of eye it, but they don't really see whom or what it happens to be. They just happen to see a leg and various burlap pouring over the top of you like a waterfall. So they don't consider what it is. You don't really see a whole lot else from that situation. Jammara, Pilakka, and Donkor. You don't recognize many of the people here, but you do see that there are some of the nobles from the higher-up caste from Sunrise. They don't come out much, at least to this area, just because, well, they don't really want to be seen entering this establishment. However, early tidings could be very good for them. There is money to be made in this kind of market. And lastly, Neferani. While it was only brief, when you were peering outward onto the area just out of the necropolis, that passerby that was moving with an audience, when Jammara stepped outside, she seemingly moved up and actually stopped this parade of sorts of these people, and you see the old man. The man that stepped out of the of the carriage of sorts. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but he's here, and he seems very out of place. He doesn't seem to be incredibly happy, but people are anxiously offering him deals and discussing trades and things of that notion. He seems to take note of you, and when you see him and your eyes catch, he gives you a brief nod. Again, he seems very out of place.
Is there any chance like any kind of knowledge roll would give me information about him? Or like now that I'm kind of giving him a good look.
Do you have knowledge nobility?
I can roll it. It's not 0.
Sure, go for it. It's going to be challenging. And you rolled 20. Fair. Wow. I have to give you something on it. So in this situation, you aren't super familiar, like, individually with the nobles, but you are aware when someone that is outside of the ranks steps in. And this is very much the case here. You see that this person doesn't really fit this situation. You know that he's out from outside of Wati. You don't see any identifying like tattoos on his body. You see no identifying marks. The only thing that kind of sticks out to you is a feather that seems to decorate the top of his the top of his cap, which is more like this this broad. It's like a very broad feather that seems to kind of stipple up to it like a flame. You don't really know what to expect from it. You definitely can tell that he's noble based on his dress. You aren't necessarily familiar with whom or what he is, however. You just know that he's got money, and he's not from Wati.
Okay. So when he nods at me, I'm going to hold his gaze for a moment and then just walk over.
Okay.
And kind of, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to walk over and give him almost like a staring contest, like, hey, like not unfriendly, not like staring him down, but like, you know.
Okay. When you move over to his side and you try to break away from your caravan, you're quickly ushered away by the guards. The moment you even take step out, there is someone that is set at each table to kind of hold the peace. And they have, again, very similarly large and gaudy... Okay, I guess my browser just broke. Let's try that again.
Nice.
All of my browser broke.
Yeah, you dropped out of roll 20 immediately. Oh.
Just a moment. Oh, it's so loud.
Oh, I hate that.
I heard that on our end.
Yeah, I did too.
Oh boy.
Rip headphone users. Or you.
I'm back. Yeah. Okay. All right. I think we're good. Sorry about that. Yeah, the moment that you kind of step out of line, one of these gaudy guards with a very outlandish weapon immediately sides up, and he blocks your continued step.
Can I, like, stare at that dude down? Like, you try to intimidate him? Not, like, menacingly, but just kind of, like, with a, seriously? Look.
Sure. I'm going to try to intimidate you. Let's see what we can get here. Wow, it's incredibly good at intimidating. He flexes on you, which may seem very out of place given the situation, but he ushers you forward, and when he kind of like try to intimidate you, he brandishes the blade in a way that kind of pushes you back. Like he slaps your body with the flat of the blade. And he speaks in a very, very heavy Osirian accent. And he says, Bak now. And the rest of you can see this as well, that he's ushering her back as she seems to have broken your line.
There was a second bird in here.
Does anybody say anything, or do you just kind of let Neferani get accosted?
Donkor moved to Neferani, look back at Neferani and go, I would listen to him right now. This is a place we really don't want to be in here yet.
What was said to
I said we don't want to be in here. It'd probably listen to him.
Yeah, listen to it. What was his command?
Oh, to get back in line.
Yeah, back now.
Bach.
Yeah.
Back now.
Kind of what the Baskin Robbins was weird.
Neferani, do you step back in line, or do you just continue to?
I will. Well, I mean, I'm intimidated. I assume I would not like this. I don't look pleased, but I'll look towards the dude who locked eyes with me and gave me a nod, kind of like a, well, you know, well.
His hand rises in a way that it's sort of like it's supposed to have calmed the situation a bit, and he calls out to the man. He says, "That's not necessary. Calm yourself." And the man turns back and he nods. But when you look over to see him kind of doing this, like his hand still similarly stays afloat, but he kind of uses his fingers to kind of push you on. And you overhear him say, "There's a chance so we can speak later."
I'll rejoin everyone.
Okay. All right. You're guided up the steps. Donkor.
Donkor is very apprehensive now as he reaches these steps, so he'll begin to walk up.
Very good. The moment that you reach the precipice of the steps, you are hit by the morning sun. It's still very early. It's probably like 8:30, 9 o'clock at this point. The speech, or excuse me, the opening of the necropolis was set to happen at noon or 1 or about that time. It's at the high mark of the day. And you have some time here. Now, Pilakka, your senses begin to go aflutter. You know how close you are. Your magic seems to kind of like crawl back to your very fingertips, to your person. And that void seems to be sort of filling itself in the situation. Abasi, you sense the unrest in Pilakka. All things considered, despite the weight, you feel Pilakka begin to move above you.
Gonna sink fingers into chicken fat. What I say about moving? Well, unless I'm putting you down, don't be squirming up there.
I use message, the cantrip message. Can I send a message mentally to Abasi without saying anything out loud?
100%,
I am also
yeah.
trying to keep quiet inside of his fat, by the way, because I've been yelled at 3 or 4 times.
I just say to Abasi, he is close. I can feel him. We are in the right place. I don't have a good feeling about the area, though.
You know, it's really weird. It's like once in a while you trust Donkor to know a little thing or two about the city. Abasi stops and goes, did I just say I trust? Oh, God.
Now, very different than the guards that you had seen below. These guards seem to be a bit different. These are female guards. Their headdresses cover their face, top and below the nose, or excuse me, below the eyes. You see their eyes are decorated in a way that seems very much disguising, but it seems like a peacock style, right? So they have like this makeup that kind of goes up underneath their headdress. They have V-mark leather, so it kind of like crosses over their bodies to shield their breasts and their upper abdomen, but their lower abdomen is disposed. Excuse me.
Exposed.
Exposed, yes.
I hope it's not disposed, or I'm out of this building right now.
They are wearing harem pants with almost like iconically curl-tipped shoes. It seems very funny and very out of place. One of them bears the equivalent of a whip, the end of which it seems to move almost like in a scorpion-like nature. It's moving independent of her hand. And the other seems to have a long blade fitted atop a pole.
A halberd or similar.
Very similar.
So
yes.
do these guards look like the dancers that we saw with at the parade?
No, those dancers were actually dancers.
I've beaten Diablo. Okay. I've been in Act 2. They can't do shit. They all die when the harem explodes anyway.
They sort of sound like sand snakes, and I don't know. I'm not gonna mess with them.
Very akin to that. Yes.
The prince came out. He bowed to me. By the time I got in there, it was all blood.
Very, very akin to that. Correct.
Okay. Donkor moved toward one of the guards, spacing himself in such a way that he doesn't get close. And he'll say, my name is Donkor, and the Pook, dare I say this is waiting for me and my party. We received a message from him atop a lattice, he says in a very question manner.
Before you can finish, they quickly grab just to the inside of themselves what you think is like a tent flap, and they turn in a way that kind of covers their own bodies, revealing the mouth of the tent, and you find yourself inside of the Brown Viper harem.
So he'll look back just to make sure that Jammara and Neferani are wearing their masks, knowing that could potentially be an issue if we do enter.
Clots of smoke erupt from the front of this, and you can smell the spicy sweetness of it. There is all forms of debauchery happening inside. Between the sounds of dancing, between the bits of darbuka harem music that is playing, the laughter, some out of pleasure, some out of malice, you can almost sense it. This is a carnal tent.
Pilakka messages to Abasi. It smells like patchouli and sex in here. Let us be quick.
I've been wondering what that was since we got in here. Honestly, I thought somebody had died.
So no one, the dwarf doesn't know anything about it anyway. So Donkor, after making that comment, will begin to walk inside.
Bossy's like, I have children. Does he not know that?
The moment that you stand there and you kind of take in the sights, the women emerge from the either side of the tent. Now they've tied the mouth of the tent open itself, and you are ushered inside.
Okay. Oh, I want that.
The ladies are impressed at Abasi's bulging muscles.
Delivery.
I'm impressed at the dinner.
Yeah, the delivery.
Sorry, it's
Did you bring enough for the whole class?
That was a quick intermission. You see, comedic relief.
just enough for the bub. That's all. Besides, it's leeks and potatoes and carrots. I'm not sure it's gonna be everyone's favorite. I'm trying to.
I'm with that.
I'll fight you for the carrots and potatoes.
Well, suck it, nerd. You're stuck under a chicken. Deal with it.
Whatever, I'll take my meat. It's fine.
Okay, so you are ushered in by the women. They emerge from either side of the tent, and they kind of begin guiding you in. Their arms are like moving in the way of a wave. It's almost odd the way that it moves, because it's like they're moving in unison, sort of like it's a mirror image as they're guiding you inward. As the last of you enter into the tent, they quickly sidle behind you and stand in the mouth of the tent, guarding for anyone that could potentially come inside.
Do they cross their glaive?
It's more as if it's more than the glaive. Like, one, remember, is using a whip.
Oh, right, true.
Do they cross the whip with the glaive?
Would be a little bizarre to watch, but I'm sure they do something akin to that, yes. Don't let your mind wander too hard on them.
To walk in here and find somebody literally just doing that cliche thing where they're like licking a knife for no reason, and you're like, where are we right now? Whose fucking intimidation tactics is this?
It's a lot less than that. The violence seemingly remains downstairs and just outside. Inside is, well, it's like a whorehouse. Very vibrant den of pleasure. Like Littlefinger's own home.
Oh, I've stepped in something.
Except in someone. Very different.
Oh, it's all over me boots.
The cuddle puddles that are happening everywhere. It's this weird twisting contortion of flesh and people doing the deed. And to the rear side, you can see that there is a few people silhouetted. You could only guess that based on the fans that it's probably the Pook himself. Cuddle puddles used to be so nice.
Oh, I have a cuddle puddle command in my channel. It's gone tomorrow.
We had cuddle puddles at every PAX. I'm so disappointed now.
Yeah, what a letdown, right?
I legitimately I was stuck on the cuddle puddle part.
Hey, Bub, you've been in every one of those cuddle puddles, even though you've never come to PAX with us.
You know, no, I haven't.
Yes, you have. I have video.
Oh man,
This just took a dark turn.
Yeah. It's my luck that my friends happen to have some kind of cardboard cutout of me that they take to PAX with them.
That's amazing.
He made his own friggin' dungeon last time. He took the beds apart and created a fort. It was weird. Never leave cardboard Bub alone.
So lewd. So, you can weave through the mounds of people to the backside. Nobody here's really going to fight you. Unless you wish to join
That's not
them.
what I'm scared of.
I bet they're trying to weave the side too.
Yeah, that's what I'm scared of. They don't want to fight me. There's a different F word.
Follow?
Follow,
They're
yeah.
gonna follow me.
They wanna
back
friend
to the
you.
fuck den.
Right.
Yeah.
They want to friend you so hard.
They're gonna put me in their top 10 on MySpace. Pog.
Oh shit! I'm gonna get into the MySpace lists. I kissed a girl and I liked it. Why does the song keep playing?
Everyone in here is down to friend.
Down to friend you.
Half the audience is
I
like,
have
"What the
DTF.
fuck is MySpace?"
I'm totally DTF.
I'm down to friend whatever, man.
Exactly.
Perfect. So,
Just be a request, right?
100%. So, my friends, do you stand there awkwardly so, watching people copulate?
Donkor will continue moving until he reaches the poop. Yep. Yep.
I'm just taking it all in. Like,
Yep.
I did
There's
not
no
realize
good
some of these things were
There's
things.
a lot of phrasing right now that's perfect.
Phrasing.
Are we not saying phrasing anymore?
Phrasing. I have a phrasing command in my channel. We say it often.
Perfect.
I was a little worried Pook is keeping up to his name. It smells so bad down here.
According to Pilakka, like
Stay a
patchouli
while
and sex.
listen.
All right, friends. Donkor, you begin weaving, avoiding the people, minding your own business. As you near the back, Donkor, you give me perception, please. Even in your dark vision, they are using like low lamps, and there's a lot of silhouetting that's happening, and I want to see if you are capable of seeing this. You can see that there is what looks to be kind of like a pillow dome, right? In the way that it's erected to create a series of pillows, and then much lower, like its onset, to create an audience, you can see a series of headdresses and shoulders that are kind of resting inside of this small chamber in the building. Women are dancing, smells are kind of wafting in all direction, and you are being guided now at this point to the side where you might face these men. But you can't happen to see whom all is here. And Donkor, since you're kind of leading the pack, Abasi can't see. Jamara is to the rear side. Neferani is moving with
I can
trepidation.
see, though. I have dark vision. So.
Correct.
Or night
Donkor,
vision.
as you round,
Yeah.
you see sitting in company is the Elder Scarabhide, sitting right next to the Pook himself.
He would
They're-
be that scummy fuck.
They're sharing wine.
Mouth to mouth.
The moment that you are seen entering into this audience, you're stopped. They stand before you, Donkor. Do you say anything?
It's not to seem awkward or rude. I would definitely say something. I'd say it's nice to see both of you again. I wish you were on better terms, however.
As you say this, their eyes turn. The Pook stands, and he snaps twice. As he does so, the dancers flee. The music comes to a halt.
You hear like
Yeah. The sensation in the room, the sounds, everything moves to a bit more of a diabolical sense. It seems like you have entered into the lion's den. Or something damn close. As he stands, the Elder Scarabhide near him also stands. Come, have a seat. Sit next to the Pasha. And do not mind my friends. They will be staying with me for a short time.
And he's referring to his friends as in the Elder Scarabide, right?
Yes, and a few others as well, people that you aren't familiar with. One of them is viciously covered in scars. He looks to be almost pieced back together. It doesn't really seem like a living Garuni. Seems mostly dead. But he turns and the eyes blink at a different pace.
Okay. So Donkor will take the gesture and begin to sit down, looking back at his party before he does, and kind of give them a silent nod like he's got this.
Abasi does not see this.
She doesn't see anything.
Come, bring your friends. Sit inside. And why have you brought me this enormous bag of onion? It certainly smells this way.
You know, to be completely honest, I'm not quite sure what's in the bag yet. But it will be surprising, I'm sure. Not to say that threateningly, it's going to be a surprise to me as well.
Does Pilakka notice that Abasi, or I guess Abasi hasn't seen his papa?
Abasi, you've seen him once.
Abasi has, yes, but
If I could see him right now, I might chuck a chicken at him, but I can't.
Pilakka's going to say, not realizing that the Elder Scarab Hide is here and not really caring who he is, roll me onto the floor.
Donkor will look back and be like, oh boy.
the bag begins to talk, and each of them blink several times, like they're not really sure what to make of this. You see the Pook kind of bring his hands together. Yes, please. Roll the bag. The talking back onto the floor.
Donkor immediately realizing that this is about to go south goes.
It's about to turn into a chicken in whatever time's left.
Abasi trying to maneuver his way, because you said there's like a seating area.
Yes.
Trying to maneuver his way with what he can barely see into the seating area, trips.
Perfect. You're intentionally choosing to trip?
Yes.
Okay.
I am choosing to
it
trip.
is difficult. To be honest, like as far as intentions go, it's not going to take a lot. There's a lot of pillows. If you tried walking on a mound of pillows, it's challenging.
Especially when carrying 200 pounds of bird above your head.
Yeah.
That is larger physically than you by like twice.
And all the pillows are damp.
Oh, perfect. Sure enough, you take 2 or 3 steps in, and as you do, you feel a pillow give out underneath you, and the bird begins to roll.
As I'm rolling, I drop my disguise.
And sure enough, an obese Tengu appears before the Pook and before the Elder Scarab Hide.
Where is my raccoon?
It takes a moment. Abasi, as you kind of brush yourself off, you stand, and before you is, well, not a sight you were hoping to see. 15 feet away is your father. And the figure, known as the Pook, is dressed in very lively and colorful robes. Purples and aquamarines dance over his robes, and gems are studded in the shoulders. He even seems to have a bit of a penchant for carrying a staff of sorts. Not like the kind that like a wizard might walk with, but sort of like a pimp cane.
Donkor's still just having his hand like this is all going south.
The Elder Scarab Hide stands immediately, and he tries to pull a dagger from his hip. As this happens, he pulls back to try to do something with a dagger, and a whip catches his wrist. And he goes tight, trying to thrust like he's going to run at you. And you can see the tip of this whip seemingly move as like a scorpion emerges from this curled up ball and nestles around his palm.
This
You
is
know, a
gonna
lot of
shock
people-
Donkor really quick.
A lot of people outside in this city have said some pretty horrible things about the lovely Pook. But I'm liking this place quite a bit more than I thought I would.
Oh, boy.
What is this? You
This
have previous history.
Yeah, they have a lot of history, and I'm sure that that'd be something that we discuss here. But first, we came to discuss the finger that you left outside of Aladdis. Before we get into that,
We've come to collect the critter.
The elder Scarabhide does not settle for this. He chimes in. He's a murderer.
Oh, yeah, really? I'm the murderer out of the two of us. You got more blood on your
Is
hands than any emperor
wanted.
I've ever met.
He turns immediately to the Pook. If we turn him in now, he will be worth much more to us. 500 gold apiece, you and I. We will split the bounty. And the Pook turns. Is this true? You're worth so much.
Oh, you see, I've never seen the bounty personally. I'm sorry, he's one of your guests.
It's
That
true.
lovely waste of air over there, on the other hand, seems to think that I'm his grand enemy. But seeing as he killed my wife, you give me a couple minutes alone with him and I promise I'll be your best friend from here on out.
Listen, dwarf. I do not need friends. Especially of your kind.
You're hanging out with the worst of our kind.
Money seeks friends. Coin seeks friends. The book just listens to the money. That's all. He wishes to wager our deal and bargain with me. And this is fine. I will accept wholeheartedly if it is a benefit to mine. I do not care about your squabbles, your history. Not at all. What matters to me is this. And he points to the bird. You were seen in the company of a woman. A beautiful woman.
Yes, are you sure they were not describing me?
No, I am sure. I am very, very sure.
That is fair. I have put on a few pounds.
there's two women in our party, and right now their lives aren't theirs, and neither is any of our lives. We can discuss that, and perhaps any other motions of trade you would want.
You can have the girl for the raccoon.
That's not the trade we're making today.
Yes,
Pilakka, no.
First, I would like to see this girl. Show me this woman.
where are you two, by the way?
In the room next to you.
Yeah, you can, like,
we're all basically within
Oh yeah,
probably a small distance of each other. like,
definitely.
very small.
You were definitely within 30 feet of each other. No,
I think
no
I'm-
questions asked.
I'm gonna go ahead and step forward and take off my disguise. Like it. You know? Ah.
Okay.
here she is. Now show us the critter.
Calm yourself, bird. Into time. Into time.
I wish you would let me do the talking, Pilakka.
You seem to be a bit of a regular in this town. I think I have even seen you.
Which one, me or the bird?
You, not a bird. You will recognize a giant fat bird.
This
Is
bird's
Pilakka
generally not
fat?
fat, but
Pilakka's stuck bad, I think, isn't he?
No,
For short
Pilakka's-
For an hour.
for the next however long.
Okay, okay. I was like, I thought that was
It's
permanent.
gonna be,
I was like, oh,
it's gonna be soon, right? Like
Probably coming up, yeah.
Okay.
man.
I'm a regular of this town, and I'm sure we've had dealings once before.
Probably not. Probably not. Do you
Maybe
deal
mentioned
in...
it long.
Do you deal in slaves? Or women?
I've
Perhaps
dealt in
poisons?
Poisons, perhaps, maybe once, but
Maybe you
I
deal
haven't
with one of my
mentioned this
retail
town.
I can help with poison.
Somehow I do not doubt that. Thank you, kind bird.
You want me to poison the woman?
I might like that.
Pilakka, you need that woman alive if you want to reach the necropolis.
You
I was
see,
gonna say, clearly Pilakka was not there the other day.
so I'm
Hi.
gonna step forward
Okay.
at this point because hello.
hello, pussycat.
I The raccoon. What is our path to getting the raccoon back?
Well, this is what I would like to discuss.
Because I missed the raccoon.
We're trying to discuss
He's
this.
a good friend. Yes,
actually.
he's very nice, very calm. He has wild eyes. I like that. I might want them. I'm still thinking about this.
Bad take. I can make more.
That we might have a deal for. You see, the raccoon is mine. It was brought to me. It may have belonged to you, but you did not care the same way that you needed to care. And it was taken from you, and that is how things work in this life. The weak will lose their own, and the strong will take what they need. You do have my apologies. I am sorry that you have lost something that might be important to you. I do find it very, very interesting that you wish to trade the woman.
I'm
the woman of fire.
getting really irritated right now.
The
Really,
woman.
like,
This is definitely
I am
not
pissed.
the
I
conversation
am
we
not
should be
happy.
having.
yep. I'm like, you think you're gonna keep the raccoon? Really?
The creature is worthless to you, and you tamper with things you do not understand. I
So
offer you the woman. I can offer you information. I can offer you poisons.
I
Name
think-
your price.
I think
Donkor
the
at this point is
Oh.
just going to put his hand on his face and kind of just like kick his legs back and be like, I can't believe this is happening.
I think what I think what everyone is trying to say is there any possibility of a deal?
Yes, I believe that we can come to some agreement.
I'm going to say that I'm
I like
a
to think
merchant.
that I too am a merchant. I am a fair man. But everything does come at a cost. Now, you see, yesterday when I saw this vision before my eyes,
A vision.
I wish to place my hands upon her.
Okay.
Skin of fire,
Mm,
lips ablaze, eyes of
I want to see
ember.
the raccoon before I even consider this.
Yes, let us see the raccoon.
Yes, I want to see the raccoon.
You will not see anything until I am ready to show you.
How do we know if he is still alive? We have not even seen this bargaining chip.
See, the thing
Yeah.
is here is we've shown you the girl, and I'm sure you're a very respectable man. I've heard your name quite around town. You know pretty basics of trading. We show you our wares, you show us yours, and we discuss that afterwards.
You can see she's alive.
You know that the raccoon is alive.
Do
You
we?
can stop playing pretend with me now.
I've not seen it.
You do.
I have we saw a finger. Not sure
No.
if it's actually alive.
No.
A
Listen,
lot,
you said
I
your
know.
name was Donkor.
Yeah.
Please stop talking. You're annoying me.
Oh my god.
Back to the what? Can I roll diplomacy to see if there's any kind of like rapport that I don't.
Yeah,
I'm not-
definitely. You definitely can. That's actually something that can help you.
Abasi's just casually unscrewing something
Remember-
on his belt and
Can
then
I
unscrewing
reroll?
something
You
else
You do
on his
have.
belt.
Everyone does have 2 luck rerolls.
Okay, I would like to use one.
Unscrewing
You
a
don't
third
want
thing on his
it.
belt.
That's much better. That's much better. You shift his disposition from disliking you to indifferent in the situation. But rolling is only half of the battle.
Mhm.
You need to butter him up. So let's hear what Neferani has to say.
So, I have lived in this city all of my life, and I have heard such wonderful things about you and the services that you provide to the city. And I was hoping that the raccoon is, while not valuable per se, has some sentimental value for me and the bird. And I was, what can we arrange that perhaps is not some sort of body trading? As
You see, there is a very obvious problem. She maimed 2 of my men. They suffer from burns, and now that their faces are practically splinters and char, their wives do not love them anymore.
I did not consent.
the wives are making their own decisions, and while I believe they should love what's inside and not what's out, I also believe that when you drug a young woman.
Nobody was drugged. I drugged no one. Did
No,
someone?
you did not.
Did someone? He begins to yell. Did someone drug this woman? Anyone?
You can ask those charred lumps of flesh that you call bodyguards who was drugged.
Jammara.
I can heal them if you give me the raccoon.
Jammara.
Yes. Yeah.
You know that they didn't drug you. You were hit with a wave of whatever powder was kind of used at the time. They were using an aphrodisiac.
Mm-hmm.
Do you say anything about that? Do you kind of try to sprinkle that information in there? Do you say anything? What do you do here? Nobody chimes in about drugging you.
Yeah. Well, I don't think I can bluff very well, so.
You can try. That's part of the challenge.
All right, we'll try to bluff it.
Go for it.
Wait, because I can't undo that just because I have a reroll. So if I bluff, period, right? No matter what I roll.
Well, you have 2 luck rerolls, so you can actually
just
bluff.
Bluff rerolls. Oh, I can do.
Yeah, so you can bluff and then try again twice if you think it matters the most for you right now.
I don't think it will. I don't know
Go
if
for
I
it.
want to bluff.
Go for the worst you can do is fail, right?
Yeah. Okay. Well, bluff. I failed. I'm pretty shy.
That's not super great. You have a huge bonus to this.
It doesn't seem to care.
Do you want a luck reroll? You have 2 luck rerolls.
You have a +5. You technically rolled a 4. You have a 75 percentile. 70. Well, more than that to roll better.
Okay, go for it again.
Oh my god.
All right.
Wow, you're magic.
Third time's a charm.
I don't have an extra reroll.
You do. Like you've only rolled once, so you
Yeah,
roll a
but
second time.
What if?
We all get them, remember?
Yeah, everybody gets them.
No, I know, but like,
If something comes up,
I got like 40 minutes left. Oh no.
Donkor's just biding his time right now.
yep.
All right.
I have unscrewed all of my oil jars while everyone has been talking. I'm ready to burn this bitch
Okay.
down if it goes poorly.
That's a little better.
I'm gonna give him a chance to see through this ruse. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There's a very good chance that you're going to fail, but there is a 25% chance you'll succeed. Okay.
Okay.
Big money, no lady.
Okay.
I failed.
So what do you say to him? You just go, "Nuh-uh, they drugged me."
As far as I know, as far as I can recall, I mean, somebody had to have drugged me because I wouldn't have taken any kind of substance like that on my own.
What perchance you happen to have walked into a dust gout? But someone using something that you may have been struck with. It would not be the first time, not in one of my harems.
I mean, it's possible.
My many apologies. All I wanted to do was talk with you. I just wanted to have a small talk. I'm sorry that my men were so rough.
Sense motive.
Go for it.
Yeah, holy shit.
Donkor is going to sense a motive here too as well.
I think we all
I don't
should.
believe this.
Yeah, am I allowed to do
Yeah,
that
go
too?
ahead. Yeah,
No,
totally.
it wasn't my idea? Okay. I'm done rolling. I'm just done.
There's always one.
You all
Oh my
believe him.
god. This guy's bluff is
Oh
insane.
my god.
Well, he
Whatever.
Oh, I want to use my re-roll on him.
He didn't get where he is by just being a schlub. You know what I mean?
No, but he's going to be dead by the end of this campaign, one way or another.
That's
I don't care if I'm 6 characters in.
That's fine. That's fine.
Pilakka turns to Jammara and says, I see no reason to disbelieve him. It was probably gas.
Listen, I'm sorry that this was this way. Would you like that I handle this situation?
How do you plan on handling it exactly?
Kill them all.
Kill your man, return the raccoon, we'll call it.
I will handle this situation, but you must give me a date. A time for us to be together, to talk, like a man does to a woman.
I don't know about this. I don't feel like I trust you.
That is fair. You don't have to. In your situation, you have stumbled into a very foreign place where you feel that your lives may be forfeit. I understand.
Yeah. Is that all? Am I the only reason you took the raccoon's finger off?
Well, no. You harmed my men. You burned down one of my carts. Unless you wish to compensate the men for the time that they are down and for their cart.
I was just defending myself.
What is the fair market value of what you're saying?
How much do you have?
If I had to guess, I'd say he'd probably want one night alone in a locked tent.
No, I mean, I'm sorry, with gold. not with lady value, with gold value.
Yes. Well, you see, that was a very, very important cart. And those men, they were my brothers.
I killed your brother?
I went and sent out. Can I sense on that motherfucker?
Yeah,
Can I
sense
sense
motive
on
on that.
Like, not a chance. Oh, yeah, they're your brothers. What are the odds? Disregards.
I think someone broke everything.
Donkor!
And it wasn't me this time.
Donkor, you know that he's lying, but you're not sure you're in a position to argue it.
Donkor is just going to chuckle under his breath really quick. Probably notably that maybe the Pook would hear him.
Listen, I am sorry again for this, and I understand if the coin is not so runneth freely in your household. But I just wish for one eve. I promise that there will be no drugs involved, no blood, no harm. Just one eve.
How can I be sure?
You cannot. That is how trust is shared.
And you don't even
So,
excuse me.
the Pook is very familiar with the consortium at this point, right?
He might.
Oh.
He might be.
Okay.
Because he is now interfering with their work.
Right. So Donkor is going to be like, so there's an easy way to shut the bird up, and then there's something you might know before you can even have a date with the very beautiful lady.
Go on.
The Aspis Concertum. Are you familiar with them?
Yes. How are you?
They hired us to go into the necropolis today. And our lives are technically forfeit at this moment. In order to do that and shut the bird up, we need to see the raccoon. However, if we don't deliver on any promises, then there may be no date to be had. And you won't be seeing your bounty, as he looks towards Abasi's father.
This is a risk. Again, I cannot for the trials and tribulations of your past. That is for him to find out and handle and deal on his own time, not on mine. And when he says that, Abasi's father is forcefully pushed down into the sitting position. We may never see
Abasi's
eye
just
to eye
grinning.
on many things. This is fine. But I would like something of equal value for what is lost. The cart, I honestly could not care. I find many things that I could replace for the cart. But my men, you stole their faces. And it would be a crime to take your face, Jammara.
Okay. So,
But your friends, their faces are not so prize.
You want faces? I can get you faces.
A cat has no face.
I can tell you right now, it's not worth the price of taking.
I'm not gonna be able to go to the necropolis and kick everybody's butts without my teammates.
Listen, I know that you're going to the necropolis. Who do you think assisted in the arrangement with the consortium?
Can I pull a sense motive on that?
Did this man just say that he is the one that is responsible for us going into the necropolis after admitting seconds ago that he was surprised that we knew who the Aspis Consortium was? Yeah, bullshit. I'm not even sense moting. I don't believe it.
Yeah, I'm gonna luck reroll that.
Go for it. How are you rolling so fucking low?
I don't understand this.
Oh, Bob, I don't want to roll anymore.
Oh,
Just
you have a -1. You're just rolling poorly. I don't have to
Just
roll.
set that to the double 0.
I don't have to
Okay.
roll. You guys believe him.
I do fucking not.
He says it. I mean, even if you choose not to, he says it so candidly and outright.
He has given me proof in conversation moments prior to this not to believe him.
True enough. That's good. That you should presume that most of the things that come out of his mouth is a lie.
Well, he's a scummy piece of shit, but if I hadn't been given proof and I couldn't say either way, I wouldn't. But if I can say either way, fuck this man. I don't believe him at all. I don't think he has us by anything because of the surprise that just came out of his voice.
So you you helped us get into the necropolis, but you were surprised that we had dealings with the concertum?
It's not so much that I was surprised that you were involved with the consortium. You see, one must feign ignorance to see how much you're willing to talk. And you've said so many things since you've come inside of my harem.
I was going to say, you're just going to pause right there. Anyways. Sorry.
Quite fair.
I judge the man by the things that he says. His actions mean one thing, but when he opens up and spews all of the things that are important to him, that's what you can see. You are like fish on hook, and that is fine. I see the measure of the men before me. I see the nervousness. And you fiddle with your belt. You should calm down. You will lose your hands before you fiddle too much longer.
That's fine. That's more than fine. You said you didn't care for me past, so why do you care for me present?
Because if you do something to my home, to the people inside of my home, then you're fiddling with my now.
All right, Mr. Pook, then let me phrase it to you in terms that you have so eloquently put to me.
Please do.
You have come into what I consider to be my house in the middle of the night. Well, not you specifically. Obviously, you have men for this. I understand people with money. You've taken one of, and I am remiss to say this, one of my friends. You've severed his finger, and then you called us here. And now, what you gave us as a little bit of leeway when we arrived is that we have made a mistake that I may add does not include all of us. And for this, you're threatening to take my face, his mug, her beautiful little ears, and maim them all for a shot at this wonderful woman. So, the logic I'm getting here is that you came into my house, you broke all my stuff, you called me to your house, and when I show up and go, what's going on? You tell me that my life is forfeit. I am to do as you please, regardless of what I want. So of course I'm preparing to defend myself, should the need arise. Now, I don't want to leave here in a bad disposition or position with you, as it were. Because, say for just a moment, I do manage to pop off a little bit. There's blood spilt, people die. Even if I get away, what does that leave me with? You'll come for me. That doesn't get me anywhere. But I don't want you mad at me. I don't want to be here. None of us do. But you're swinging around your power and your presence, and I understand that. I could respect a man with power, but you do understand this makes people fidgety, and it's how you get enemies. And I know you've got plenty of enemies and lots of friends with all of the coin, but sometimes it just takes one man who doesn't care whether he lives or dies to ruin everybody's day. And I don't want to be that man, but if you keep threatening me, I will be that man.
You talk a lot.
That's about
A whole
time.
lot.
You should listen to him. You should listen to him. He's got no will to live whatsoever.
It's true. he doesn't give a shit.
You wanted
was
to
ho-
see the raccoon, yes.
Yes, to prove that he is still in well keeping.
Do you know how I found you?
I have been wondering that.
Good.
Oh fuck, that was smooth.
I have been wondering that. I assume you tracked down my pet while he was collecting things for me.
No, I did not have to do that. That is a lot of work. How did I even know that you had a pet? No, I did not. See, I found out a lot about you. In a very short time. He whistles. And there is a new figure that emerges at the tent. Carrying, in hand, the silhouette of a cage. Something nestled in the bottom of it. Not moving. Your sense seems to grow. You feel it's Gedok. But as the figure moves, their head jerks. Strangely so. And as they kind of traipse over everyone, a Tengu steps into the light. It's someone from your coven.
Do I know this person?
You do.
Do you remember you have a coven?
You do know this person.
Stay a while and listen.
They're one of your students. Or someone that you traded with frequently.
It's a hell of an innuendo right there.
Pilakka believed that she didn't have students. She didn't start a coven. She traded with people. They brought her things. She gave them knowledge. She taught them how to do magic.
More often, brewed magic potions that were beyond their skill.
The Tengu chimes with this almost autonomous sound. You can't tell if it's man or woman. Pilakka, we've been searching for you.
You know my name. You know my title. But I don't know you.
You don't recognize your pupil?
I've had many pupils, so to speak, over the years, but none that I have kept in memory.
This is fine. It seems to kind of like twitch and caw. The way that they move is strange. It seems to kind of like favor the right side of their body. And one eye seems to never lean away from you, right? Like it's kind of constantly watching you. They hand off the cage, this wrought iron cage, and in the bottom of it rests Gedok. He's asleep.
Is he injured aside from his...
Nope. He does seem to be drugged. At the sound, at the mention of Pilakka, at your presence, he does not rouse.
Is the raccoon safe, huh? No one.
Can I reach? Is he within reach of me?
No. What date? This is all a man asks. I assure you, it will be of the finest foods. The best entertainment. The company will be incredible. Memories will be made. I just wish that a woman as fine as yourself would go for one date with me. From there, whatever happens, happens. But I need not. For...
Can I bring a friend?
Excuse me. You wish to bring a friend? Do you mean like the raccoon? And he kind of shakes the cage.
No.
Pilakka
Okay? Basically.
Pilakka sends Jammara a mental message with her piece of copper wire, and she just hears in her voice,
Take him up now and incinerate him later.
Okay.
I need you to stealth, Pilakka. Give me a stealth, please, on your spell.
Oh no, he's making you stealth.
Give me a perception.
he's only going to see...
Oh.
He kind of watches you briefly, Pilakka. He doesn't really know what to make of the Tengu. This is only a recent turn of events for him. An odd lot, it seems.
Sorry. The copper wire aids in digestion.
That's very, very odd.
And she puts it.
You can say no, this is fine, but it will come at a cost. You must pay my men's wages and buy my cart.
Well, we got no gold. So, looks like, hey, are you paying?
I do not suppose you would trade for magic brews, healing potions, that lot.
No, I have another idea. I want whatever the consortium wants.
Oh boy.
Saw that one coming from the moment we got here.
So, what is it? You worked with the consortium to get us this job.
I have, yes.
Can you elaborate on which item that they asked us to get that you want us to give you?
I don't know what it is, and they will not tell me.
Well,
I believe that we could obtain such a thing for you. There were many things they asked us to get, so will any one of them be acceptable to you?
Well, I know that they search for rarities, antiquities, wild things of the past, but they search for intelligence. If you happen to bring me something that could increase my knowledge, that might expand my infrastructure of power, I suppose that we could call it square.
I have a question for you, Pook. Do you know Elvish?
So I know all languages.
He's lying. No, he doesn't.
That's a lie, but
At best, he has an item that allows him to comprehend all languages, but this is impossible.
He looks over to you, Pilakka, and he winks.
Oh man, I really want to detect magic, but I'm gonna resist the.
I'm gonna diplomacy this.
Sure.
See what I can roll here.
Okay. All right, that's really good, but you've got to make it sound good too. If you're just like, "Hey, we'll get you that thing, deal," and you give
And
a thumbs up, it's just not gonna fly.
I'm gonna roll a perception to see if I saw that wink.
Sure. He didn't really hide it, to be honest.
Okay. Oh man. Well, it seems to me that you might be interested in learning Elvish, unless you actually do have an item. This very obvious wink of yours.
Is there a reason that you ask me if I know Elvish?
Well, I have traded with the elves once before, maybe quite a few times actually. It's very rare things to come by around here. Knowing Elvish would help you to at least speak with them, since they are very inclusive.
I know Elvish. I do. But I would like to know where they are, as well. I will take this as well.
You're asking
he's just adding onto his fucking receipt here. Holy shit!
You're asking quite a bit.
Maybe can I aside to Donkor and say maybe he's asking quite a bit because none of us will shut up.
Oh no, I know none of us will shut up, but everybody kept speaking,
including me. I think that perhaps, and I'm not making any. This is full Irish whisper. I'm not making any attempts just to like hide it. Perhaps we should get something for the Pook that raises their knowledge and bring it back when we return, and perhaps he will find this arrangement acceptable. And then I just kind of side-eye the Pook like,
if you want our voyage to be successful, you should return my pet.
I just wish to come to an agreement first. I believe you will walk out of this tent with your pet.
As do I. We are in agreement then. You will date him, Jammara, and we will keep an eye out for anything of intellect-raising value in the tomb.
And
you
you will also tell me where the elves are.
Yes, and the dwelling of the elves. Sure.
Again, I believe myself to be a fair man, and some things I realize might be biting off more than I can chew. I wish to not cause too many problems inside of the consortium. So, I understand if you take only the most valuable to them. But, there are some things that you should probably also know. There is value in favors.
See,
I will be in your favor if you bring these things to me.
that's... Had everyone not spoken so much, I was hoping that you and I could probably trade more in the future. There
I would
seems
like
to be
that.
a lot.
Say that you stay alive from the necropolis. I think that we could trade more in the future.
Okay. Then I have but one last request, since we are giving you a lot.
Please do.
Before you... Since you're trying to gain favor with the consortium, this pommet, the one behind me, the one that and Donkor nervously laughs before saying this, that seems to have a bounty on him. We need him to be successful before you can get any of this. And by successful, I mean coming out alive from the necropolis.
Well, I cannot stop his past from haunting him.
I'm not asking you to stop his past. I'm asking you to help me delay it. The coin is well worth
I
the
can
bounty.
ask him, but I cannot enforce that. He comes from a different land, a different time even. The Pommet, they have their own code of ethics, per se. And if there is a bounty, gods above and below forbid that they find out about him. About this time, the Elder Scarabhide tries to stand, and he is drawn back again. And you hear the Pook say, I need you to calm down. Please stay seated.
Abasi just shakes his head. He's like,
Donkor... Donkor
We can
seeing...
sell you the dwarf later.
Donkor seeing this and goes, I would really, really would love to have taken your deal. And Abasi, I'm making this completely aware for you. The coin is well worth it. However, I need him alive.
Well, then you will have to tread carefully.
Donkor, while I appreciate what you're trying to do, I think I'll be fine. See, I've been thinking a lot since we got to the books, and I figured out what the old man's about. Good on you, old man. Good on you.
Is it money?
You see this wry grimace kind of fall over his face, and he tries to stand a third time. And when he does, with a flash, the Pook turns. There's a flash of steel, and a blade is drawn across the face of the dwarf, from nose to ear. And you see your father pull up and cover his face, like his whole face as blood begins to pour. He said, I said to stay down. You stand again and I will take your eyes.
Okay. Well,
Not another word is said from your father.
Not a good use for dwarf eye.
So whatever is not valuable
me.
to the consortium, the Elvish language, and a potential date with Jammara for...
One must properly woo a woman. This will take time. He takes his blade and he wipes it off on your father, like on across the front of his robes. And then he places it back, hiding it inside of his waistline.
Abasi's just grinning, but he's keeping his mouth shut because he, at this point, knows that he's past his point. He made what he needed to make known to the Pook. The Pook knows exactly what kind of person he is now, and he's just going to shut the fuck up and enjoy the show.
All right. Well, then I guess as far as we can do here.
Fucking Nick.
Is there anything else that you would like to toss in? I feel that some of you wish you had more things to say. Woman of fire. I do not wish to win your heart immediately. I know that this will take time. Bird.
Win my heart. You realize nobody's been able to do that in 69 years, right?
You know, that's a tiny
You can do
little
it, though. You're so
69.
charming.
This is 69 years. What the hell?
You know, 69 gold, 69 years. I think she's got a finger on her. I don't mind us.
I have not been moved in 420.
He begins to smile at these words, and he cracks open the gilded cage, and he slides the raccoon gingerly over to you, Pilakka.
Pilakka takes him underneath in one hand and pulls out the severed digit, and then kind of scoops a mixture from one of her bags. It's kind of like mud and like lichen and moss. And then just kind of like uses that as paste to like stick it on there.
Sure, you adhese it. Do you commit to a hex for this?
What's that?
Do you commit to like any kind of hex, or do you just kind of let your?
Did you just
goulash
super glue his
source?
finger back on?
Something akin to it, but
That'll have to hold it until she can complete the spell, which will be whenever she gets her level 1 spells back to cast Cure Light Wounds and fix.
Gotcha. Okay. And he looks to you, Neferani. Last, you have remained quiet yet curious the entire time. Is there anything that I can do for you?
Honor your promises.
This is one thing that the book does. I keep my word. There is honor among thieves, even if they say that is not true.
You can believe a promise from Pooh.
Now, I wish to press my body against someone, unless you wish to join me. He begins, like, disrobing himself. You should probably vacate.
My tail's just gonna go down, and I'm gonna, like...
Nope.
Donkor, before leaving, Donkor is going to ask, you deal with drugs. I have one more question, and I apologize for asking this.
Go on, Donkor.
Do you have red flower leaves?
Of course I do. This is easy to find when you are Depuk.
Now, how much would it be? Or do I have to find one of your men to find out the price?
We can negotiate upon your return. Good luck in the necropolis.
Okay.
At this point, he's like completely turned around and scaling his like pseudo pillow fort to find someone else to belly slap with. At this point,
can I take a look into the unconscious, semi-conscious Gidok's eyes and try to detect poison to see what exactly they used?
Sure. Let's see. Give me a knowledge nature or knowledge local. Wow, that's really, really good. There is a spore. It's like a fungus that grows on camel dung native to this area that when dried and broken down mortar and pestle, they are capable of spreading it, and it causes this intense deep sleep. It's sort of like hyper NyQuil.
Okay.
It's nothing that's too bad, and it's likely that it was probably for you as well.
Okay.
Okay.
And now that I'm reunited with him, am I able to remove the wild magic weight that I've gained?
Yeah, it probably, like, honestly, as you were leaving, you will probably have this occur. Now, you guys have been here for a pretty fair amount of time, to be honest. Like, you left at 7:30, you had the spell cast, 8:30. Everything is moving forward, and it's quickly closing in on noon. You have all of your equipment. You have all of your supplies, anything that you could potentially need. I imagine that you're going to be talking amongst yourselves for a short time, weighing what it is that's just happened. So I'm going to open that floor up to you guys briefly before we call our evening here.
Well, before leaving, I was going to say, in ancient Assyrian, to my father, because I figured that nobody in my party is going to speak that. Nobody else hangs out in tombs like I did.
Sure.
I've spent a lot of time thinking, because there's not going to be an accent in a different language, Spent a lot of time thinking. I had a lot of time alone in that cell, digging through the dirt and carrying through the desert. I kept thinking, what could be in a necropolis that would interest somebody just like you? Then I remembered that What was I guarding in the first place? Oh, dear old dad, if I don't kill you, the entirety of our people definitely will. Better hope you find it first. I'm just going to turn and leave.
His brow furrows. Go ahead.
Pilakka's gonna understands this, and as he completes the sentence, goes, "Oh snap!" And
Oh god!
In the snap, casts Daze on his phone.
God, does he get a save? I feel like he gets a save.
Does he get a save?
Is it 13?
Yeah.
Okay.
Will.
Abasi, what is your will modifier?
My will modifier?
Yeah.
It runs on the family.
5.
5?
Oh shit.
See, I'm a paladin. I'm very willful. That's the
We'll
part
give
that
him
sucks.
just one more. Because I don't think
Oh!
he's
Fuck
dazed.
you, old man.
You hit him. You successfully hit him with a daze. So it begins to cloud his mind, and he just kind of like lazes over to the side, and he looks very hazy, man. Like he's been huffing paint or something. You're not really sure. He's just kind of like looking around, like, what the fuck is going on?
I want Abasi to believe that he has slammed his father so hard that he just like rocked his world.
Abasi's on cloud 9. Just went from depressed to like, yes! I think, though I have no proof that I figured out the riddle. And also, I got to watch that old man get permanently scarred and blown out of his own mind.
Bossy, give me a click on your wisdom, please. It's a D20 plus your wisdom mod, so just click wisdom. You realize that Pilakka responded, so she recognized what it is that you said.
Well, that worries me just slightly. But you know what? I'm gonna have a lot more questions for that bird. Oh shit! Wait. He walks back. Goes, do I still have to carry you?
I arrive.
Pilakka's legs are a little wobbly, but she seems to make her way out just fine.
So on the way down, I get to pass the guards, huh?
Yes, you will.
I'm gonna make sure my headdress is off. Because I already know they can't start shit.
The guards will turn to look at you because they know exactly who you are, right? Like they are very much aware of who you are up to this point. And you're right, they can't do anything.
You might want to check upstairs real quick. Dad's got a hell of a nosebleed from here to here, I think. Nothing I didn't deserve.
As you see the guards and you continue to move on, it is at this point that you look across the table and you see your son and your daughter sitting at the table as well. And your son seems very angry. Your daughter seems very distressed. She borderline looks like she's asking for help. It's those eyes, like those giant doughy eyes of, oh God, I'm in trouble. Please help me.
Excuse me, sorry.
You're goaded forward before you can even finish saying anything to the rest of the guardsmen. Your son and daughter watch you. And you're ushered out of the building.
The boy's name is Upland. I will fucking hurt you, Turbo.
Wait, whose son and daughter is in this place?
Mine?
Abasi's.
Your kids are here?
In this
I know,
place?
right? He killed my wife, and now he has my kids.
In some sort of, I don't know, harem or something.
Yeah,
They're
It's
in
not a
the
great
gambling section.
establishment.
They're in the gambling section of it.
And he's upstairs fucking with Pook. You see that? Pook took his clothes off, and my dad was just like, oh,
And he's got your kid. He's got his grandkids downstairs dealing blackjack.
I know. And I'm the bad guy.
What a horrible father.
So, we're going to round out our evening as you guys exit the Viper's Den. This is where Pasha Pook stays. Pook's is a bit of a different kind of place. Each level having its own sort of criminal intent. Though, meeting Pook, he seems somewhat honorable. To a degree, for a scummy son of a bitch. That being said, now you're tied up with two criminal organizations that are vying for your attention as you prepare to enter the necropolis. Next week, you guys will have a short time to discuss what's going on, and then you'll be pushed right away into the necropolis.
We're burning this place down.
Dude, see, I was talking to Blacklight the whole time, and I'm like, I've unscrewed 4 oil jars. We're standing in a fucking sea of pillows, and I'm hanging out with somebody made of fire. I don't care if I die. If this goes south, this bitch is burning to the ground.
Yes, with boobs.
Yes, fire boobs will be the end of Pook.
Yes.
The dreaded fire boobs.
I already was contemplating asking if you wanted to see my boobs. Anyways.
You imagine if you said yes?
Oh, that would have been so bad for him and for you. Oh my God.
I know. That's why I didn't do it.
There was so much that I was waiting for it to go wrong.
Man, I know. I also really wanted to use my magic hands or whatever to go take that pimp cane and smack him with it.
Damn. Jammara is expressing the level of evil that she has.
Did you guys know that she's chaotic evil, right?
100%. Yeah. Now,
I honestly don't know if I know how to be evil, but we'll try.
Next week, if I'm not mistaken, Neferani is going to be out? Question mark?
I was actually just double checking what time my flight lands.
Okay.
Excuse me. I will be a spectator, I believe. Okay. I land at 6:00, coming west, which is always east. I'm early. West, we're going against winds, so
right.
Yeah. I won't. By the time I get back from the airport, it'll be closer to 9:30. So like an hour and a half late. So I think that.
Okay. So next week we will have either Ryu or Lily step in for your position. So we'll find a way to wrap out your character for the session, which should be interesting. You're going to miss the opening ceremony, I think, or you might catch the opening ceremony and then you'll have to step away for one reason or another, but we'll figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
So guys, before we wind out tonight's session, let's go ahead and share our casting information out so everyone can know about it. We'll start with D for Donkor.
Hey guys, I am the incredibly bad merchant who's trying to make good deals despite the rest of the party's intention.
The one who's got information for.
Yeah, well, that's probably a lot more valuable, but he'll be burned down to the ground. Anyway, you guys can catch me on twitch.tv/Kaoiji. I'm a variety game broadcast. I've been playing a lot of Anthem. We'll be playing Resident Evil. We got some games coming up, so it'd be lovely to have you.
Good stuff. Very good stuff. Jammara, as played by AuroraStarr. Tell us about you.
Hello. Yeah, you can find me at twitch.tv/AuroraStarr. Links in chat, but I'm a variety streamer. I focus on RPGs. I actually have my own RPG. It's really cool. But yeah.
That's at Star Fantasy, right?
It is. It's Star Fantasy.
It's good stuff. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Pilakka-Bitakk, as played by BlackLightAttack.
Hi, I'm Blah. You can find me nowhere and everywhere. If you can find me, you get a prize. And I love playing D&D and
Raccoon Finger
and Pathfinder and other tabletops here with Bud.
I like having Nick along. He's good people. We've got Neferani, as played by Imperialgrrl. Tell us about you. Where can we find you?
You can find me at twitch.tv/Imperialgrrl, and I am, I don't know, what would you call me? I do everything. I'll be streaming on Thursday from Disney World. I will, I sew, I game, I do IRL streams, I bake, I play Just Dance badly. So a little bit of everything. So I'll be over there doing my thing and running races and bitching about it on stream. Because I think I'm actually going to try because I walk the 10K. I've been in 3 races. I'm going to walk the 10K with my rig. So, which is allowed as long as it's not a selfie stick. So I'm going to stream the 10K.
Very cool.
I'm really psyched about that.
I'm going to tune in for some of that action. Abasi, tell us about your JDScientize.
I'm the angry little dwarf who doesn't give a shit if he dies or not. But in real life, I'm considerably taller than an angry little dwarf, and I play video games on the internet to be laughed at and to scream at my poor, poor friends. As of late, we've been playing a shit ton of Anthem, to which I am basically just endgamed now, so we have so many questions we can answer. And all of next month is going to be an appreciation month on my channel, for the channel, about the channel, for you guys, for me, for everybody. It's going to be great. We're setting out weeks aside for like zombies, community, co-op, adventure games. We're doing 4 24-hour streams. It's going to be a fucking experience. I might die, but I'm excited for it.
Good lord. That's nuts, man. Good luck with that. Please don't die though. I like you a lot, and I would like it if you just didn't die.
I'm gonna pass on the dying part, but
I kind of like you. So,
a mild coma. I'll give you a mild coma.
All right.
All
that's
my
fair.
Mondays, mild comas.
Okay, that's fair. I guess I can get behind that if I have to. That'll be the case, guys. I'm Bub. You guys have seen me here on this channel. I do tabletop stuff, lots of it actually. I'm also starting to dive back into some older series that I haven't played ever. Period. I just started Dragon Age, the first one. Yeah, playing vanilla Dragon Age. I'm about 16 hours in, I think.
I didn't know you never played that.
Never
He never
played
played Bioshock either. That
Never
shit
played
blew my
Bioshock, yep.
mind.
You see that I already got on his case for. Dragon Age is a whole nother story.
Yeah, well, I'm
Origin's
getting
one
in
of
it.
the best games.
I'm getting in it, right? And it's bizarre, some of the things that I'm finding about the game, but it's a lot of fun. I don't know if I like Sten. Sten's weird. Sten doesn't like talking to me at all. I'm like, hey, you want to talk? And he literally is, no. All right.
No, the real question is how many of your friends have you slept with, and which races and factions have you left buried out back? Because that one's prettier.
I killed the mages.
They're the worst.
There was that hesitation, like it fucking happened. Okay.
I killed them, but the Templars love me. So I don't know if that's useful or not.
Radicals usually love it when you commit genocide.
Yeah, but that was mostly accident. I've only had to scum save once, because one of my party members turned on me, and she's like, "I will not stand for this," and then I decapitated her, and I was like, "Oh god, this can't happen."
She's dead.
Yeah, I've got to go back. I don't really like her that much, but I don't want her decapitated, so I'm gonna send her on her merry way later. But yeah, guys, that's what I do here. I mostly do tabletop stuff in various video games and a lot of voice acting things, and well, I mostly struggle to be on time to my own stream, and we laugh about it.
Sounds normal.
You're in good company.
I think I've been late every day this week.
Tomorrow is episode 150 of Shackled City. That's 150 live streamed episodes at about 4 hours apiece. Save me, please. Oh god, I've lost my sanity, and I wish for it to return. I don't think it's going to happen. But yeah, that's that. And I'll see you cats tomorrow. We're going to go ahead and do an after show real quick. And we'll be getting a lot of this stuff up on the Patreon very, very soon. So consider supporting. Check us out. Let everybody know. Go follow everyone if you haven't yet. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace. We're out of here.
Oh shit, I have this.